Alright, first I want to start by saying Kala Lal Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of James Stone. Salutation to you walking out there pushing the truth in sincerity, the hopeful elect. Shalom. This is the brother Canon from James, Jamaica. You heard another lesson, and this lesson will be around reincarnation. Now, as you can see on screen, as we always start off, there's this song basically is kind of a push towards this type of lesson at this time. As I said, the artist's name is Kabaka Pyramid, and it says, "What is the meaning of life?" or "Meaning of life." Now, I was listening to this song, I think a couple of days ago, and there's a particular line in it. Things that we know, but the reason of the song, just kind of bring a different energy where you want to speak on it. You know what I mean? So basically, we're gonna speak on it. Now, we're speaking really about reincarnation. I'm gonna play a small snip of the audio so you guys can get an idea of what I'm talking. You can also look it up. All right. Now, you said, "What is the meaning of life if you only have one chance to live?" And some die as a kid, meaning as a child. And if you really to think about it, because we know the hopeful elect, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the true biblical Israelites. For the ones that are in the highways and edges, we are aware that there is a thing called reincarnation, and it is very much real. And if you think otherwise, then you're not thinking logical. Now, think about it. All right, the Christian doctrine teaches that they don't really teach reincarnation. In the sense that you live more than once. You've been here before, you come here again, and the cycle keeps going. They don't teach that. That's not a part of the Christian doctrine, which the Christian doctrine is not a part of. It's not about the Bible, because the Bible teaches that. All right. Now, I'm gonna play the audio, and then I'm going to get into some scripture to show you that yes, reincarnation is real, and to think otherwise is silly. For the Bible is truth first and foremost. So if you're not thinking what the Bible is saying, then you're basically off. But let's play this. Alright, so that's the part. All of it is basically surrounding one thing, but I just want to highlight that part. What is the meaning of life if you only have one chance to live and some died as a kid? Now imagine the amount of children or infants from ages that would have came or visit the earth, and some not even live for a day. What is the meaning for that? What is the purpose of someone just coming here for less than 24 hours or 2 days or a week? What is the purpose of someone coming on earth born lame, born with as we call handicap, mind not stable, unable to think rational? What is the meaning of a person coming here to encounter that type of life? Even though we know that there's a judgment at the end of all of this, especially according to a Christian teaching. Because by default, that person would automatically enter into the so-called Christian heaven where them create, because they wouldn't be conscious of anything. What they would have done to basically commit any iniquity if they only live for 2 days, more than breathe or might open them eyes. So you're automatically in this so-called Christianity religion doctrine where your heaven is this fairy tale thing. they would automatically graduate to that heaven, you know. But we're gonna put things in proper perspective and explain things for you, for those who have ear to hear and eyes to see. Now I'm gonna read a few precepts, and it's gonna be mostly scriptures because the Bible speaks for itself. You know, I mean, you need a private interpretation. You don't need any, you know, no. Yeah, it's say what it said, it mean what it mean. It's just for you to know it or be able to understand it because the most have to work with you. Alright, so I'm going to start with the first precept here because this is what a lot of people say. This is Wisdom of Solomon um, 2 and verse 1. It says, "For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave." So basically they're saying, look here, life short, you're dead, and nobody you know come back. That's what the ungodly say. You know what I mean? Or said. But this is not alright. This is not the truth. This is a wrong frame of mind. This is wrong to think that you only come here to live 2 days and then your life gets snuffed out and then that's it. That makes no sense. You know what I mean? But funny enough, millions of people think this way, and because they are ignorant of God's knowledge. You know what I mean? So we're gonna give you an example of someone that came on the earth, and a question was posed to that person about that person. This is John 9 and verse 1. It says, "And Yahushai, the person you call Jesus, his name is Yahushai, and Yahushai passed by. And as Yahushai passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth." This man born blind, right? And his disciples asked him, right, saying, "Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" No, the disciple asked that being ignorant, so they must learn. Because first and foremost, your parents' sin, you don't face your parents' sin. Every man faces his own sin. You're not going to be judged based on what your parents did. You are being judged based on your own actions, right? And that's in Ezekiel 18. Right, let's continue. Verse 3, Yahushua answered, "Neither had this man sinned nor his parents, but that the works of Yahweh should be manifest in him." So he's not saying that these persons were guiltless or anything like that. He was basically saying, look here, this man being blind is not because of sin where him commit or anything like that. It's really because I am here to show or to do the work of the Heavenly Father. So he's here for me to heal him so you people can see that I am the Son of God. Or some of you can see or believe. So it was basically to fulfill prophecy. Same come and him heal the sick. Alright? And that was exactly why he was born that way. But back to the picture of reincarnation. The reason why that question was being asked is, when would this person sin for him to be born blind? He must have lived a past life, right? So clearly they would have understanding of that. Look here, this is not the only life. You just come here and die and that's it. That wouldn't make any sense. Because when would he sin to be born blind? Or to be paying for that sin, right? The Bible tells you that then shall the judgment come when we shall live again. So you are being judged for your past life. So to come back a pyramid question, what is the meaning of life if you only live once and you died as a kid? Is that, look, you're being punished for the past life that you lived, and your life, which is energy, right, or spirit, in the end the flesh die, but your spirit don't end. It moves on. It's transfer from one house to a next, and that's what we get it in. That is what is called reincarnation. Back in flesh, back in another house, All right. So let's move to the next precept. This is Ecclesiastes 1 and verse 1. It says, "The word of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem." It says, "The vanity of vanities," said the preacher, "vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What profit hath a man of all his labor which he hath taken under the sun? One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever." So one generation pass, one generation come, and the cycle keeps going because the earth is here. People have to live, you know what I mean? So the cycle goes round and round. Right? It says, "The sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasteth to his place where he arose." Cycle of the sun. "The wind goeth toward the south, and turneth about unto the north. It whirleth about continually, and the wind returneth again according to his circuits." Round and round the cycle continues. "All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the place from whence the rivers come, thither they return again." The cycle keeps going. Alright? All things are full of labor. Everything is a cycle, which is why I said, the world is a cycle. And everything will happen. Yes, it go around in a circle. So what do you think? Man is not a part of a cycle? Man is not exempt from being a part of that cycle. Every single thing, there is a cycle. So why do you think that the life of a man is not a part of a cycle? Let's continue. Alright? It says, "All things are full of labor. Man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. The thing that had been, it is that which shall be. And the thing that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun." There's nothing new. Everything that you're seeing had been here before, isn't it? And it's going through the cycle, just as we said earlier. Let's continue. It says, "The thing," yes, "is there anything whereof it may be said, See, this is new? No, it had been already of old time, which was before us, before we here, living in this 21st century, so to speak. You know what I mean? Um, we all that you're seeing here had been before. We had been before, but we're in a different time period. You know what I mean? With the same things going through the cycle. It's not the new. It's not the same sun. Not a new sun. Sorry. You know what I mean? But this sun has been traveling the earth day by day for thousands of years. You know what I mean? And them say the sun get hotter or whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, you get the point. It's just a cycle. Alright, so this is the thing. Let's get to that thing. Alright, so this is Ecclesiastes 6 and verse 10. It says that which had been is named already, and it is known that it is man. Right? So that thing which has been has already been named, and his name of what? Man. Neither may he content with him that is mightier than he. Right? So man go through the cycle. Alright? Man go through the cycle. And your cycle may come shorter than the next person. You might lose your life the first second, or the first day or the second day of you being into this atmosphere. Alright? Let's continue. But guess what? I'm gonna get even a little, highlight some more things. We're not gonna really go too deep with anything, but just to show you that, look here, the Christian doctrine of heaven is off. You know what I mean? And reincarnation is real. Whenever you die, there is a saying, ashes to ashes and dust to dust, and it is real. Right? Where did man come from? The earth. Where did the spirit of the man came from? In the heavens. The spirit is not earthy. Right? The spirit is dealing with spiritual things. not of flesh, not of dust or dirt. The dirt is just an house. Alright, so let's continue. So this is, let's start from here. Go back to Ecclesiastes 6 and verse 6. It says, Yea, though ye live 1,000 years twice told, yet at ye see no good. Do not all go to one place. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Do not all go to one place. Let's get into that. Alright? This is Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 7. It says, Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. So your spirit go back to where? To the Heavenly Father who sent that spirit into flesh. You know what I mean? That breath into flesh. Let's continue. Alright. So let's give you an example of what Job said. You know? Because it says the spirit, then shall the dust return to the earth and the spirit return to the Heavenly Father. This is what Job said. Job 3, I'm not going to read it because we don't want to make the video too long. Just want to add up the points and get it the main points them out there. So Job said, Why died I not from my youth, an infant? What is the meaning of life if we only live once and died as a kid? Right? Job did a wish him dead as an infant. You can read Job 3 going down to prove that. He said, Why died I not from the womb? Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? An infant. Alright? Alright, let's say this. It says, Or as an Eden this is verse 16. It says, Or as an Eden untimely birth I had not been as infants which never saw light. There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. Where? Where is called that place of rest? That's in the heavens. There the prisoners rest together. They hear not the voice of the oppressor. The small and the great are there, infants, old people. Everybody is there. And the servant is free from his master. Right? That's where that's what you call heaven. You know what I mean? Let's prove it. Alright, this is one moment here. This is 2 Corinthians 5 and verse 1. It says, For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of Yahweh, an house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. So if this body get dissolved, this house, because the word body is dealing with an house, you know what I mean? This dissolve, you go back to your heavenly body. Verse 2, For in this we groan, earnestly desiring to be clothed upon with our house which is from heaven, because only in flesh you feel pain, hunger, thirst, desire, and all these things, which Solomon called it what? Vanity. You know what I mean? This flesh that you're living for is only for vanity, because guess what? You will pass it off and move on. But the spiritual things are more important than just the flesh. Alright? Because you are your spirit, not the flesh. Alright? It says, if so be that being clothed we shall not be found naked. For we that are in this tabernacle do groan, being burdened. I just list them. Desires, hunger, thirst, you know what I mean? All the cares of the flesh. You are burdened with these things. Not for that we would be unclothed, right? Right? We do groan being burdened, not for that we would be unclothed, but clothed upon, that mortality might be swallowed up of life. Alright, so I'm not continue with that, but you can continue to read that if you want to get more insight on that. It's basically saying that look, when you're dead, you know that when you leave the body here, you're gonna have a spiritual body, which is in the heaven, just like the movie Matrix, which you come out of the Matrix, you wake up in your next body in a Zion. It's something like that. All right. Now, let me get the next precept that I have here. Again, I just want to make the scriptures speak for itself, so I'm not gonna do a lot of talking or try not to do a lot of talking. All right. So, yes. Again, what is the meaning of life if we only live once, and some died as a kid? Alright, so let's read this precept. This is 1 Corinthians 15. Alright, so it says, now if Christ being preached that he rose from the dead, how say some among you that there is no resurrection of the dead? No, it doesn't mean that the child get up literally in the same body and flesh when them bury him, because ashes go back to what? Ashes or dust go back to dust. You know what I mean? Yes, Yahushua did raise from the dead, literally in his body, till them see him with the holes in them and all of that. You know what I mean? But we're not speaking of that type of resurrection. We're talking about you leaving the flesh and going back into your heavenly body. Alright? But if there be no resurrection of the dead, then is Christ not risen? And if Christ be not risen, Yahushua, then is our preaching in vain. If this is the only time we live, then it's vain, because people are dead from being childbirth, from miscarriage, basically. Let's put it that way there. You know what I mean? And they are alive because it's murder. Some people literally get to see sunlight and then get put to death. Some born as handicaps, brain not function properly. Them still have a life. So what is the meaning of life to those people? You know what I mean? You just have to think, and stop being stupid and feeding off the so-called white man fantasy world out there, this Hollywood type of lifestyle and this fables that they push upon you people. You have to start think logical. You know what I mean? Alright, let's continue. Verse 15, it says, yea, and we are found false witness of Yahweh, because we have testified of Yahweh that he raised up Yahushai, whom he raised not up, if so be that the dead rise not. For if the dead rise not, then Christ is not risen, Yahushua is not risen. And if Yahushua be not risen, your faith is vain, you are yet in your sins. Then they also which are fallen asleep in Yahushua are perished. So those persons that would have died 2 days or 1 day after coming out of the womb, them perish. Where would they be? No existence, no make no sense again. If what you're saying there's no resurrection, you don't live again. Them gone, vain. You only live once. y.o.l.o, make no sense. Alright? Let's continue. In verse 18, it said, then they also which are fallen asleep in Yahushua are perished. If in this life only we have hope in Yahushua, we are of all men most miserable. Because then there wouldn't be anything more than vain vanity. No purpose. Look at what takes place on the earth right now. Right? It's just dark, doom, gloom out you're seeing right now. But the fact that life continues, there's still hope. There's still a reason to live. There's still a reason to do things. But if you don't have this hope or reason, you're gonna think that you're here for no purpose and life means nothing. That's why a lot of persons are thinking about committing suicide, because they don't see a future, they don't see any hope. They see this in front of them, and what is in front of them is what? Death. Because this kingdom is a kingdom of sin. You know, I mean, this kingdom promote what? Iniquity. And what is the wages of iniquity? Our sin, death. So eventually, you know that that's what's coming. But what is the purpose if we are going to die for no reason? You're just gonna die and that's that it. There's no purpose if that's the case. But thanks to Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, that's not the case, yo. There is hope and there is life after death. And guess what? I'm gonna say this without even going into too much about it. You know what I mean? This is the ultimate end of it. It says, and so, this is Romans 11 and verse 26, and so all Israel shall be saved. All Israel, that's you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, whether you're dumb, stupid, blind, died as an infant, it doesn't matter. All Israel shall be saved. You know why? Because the Most High is not a carnal God. He's not a God of the flesh or of the dead, as the scriptures state. Alright? He's a God of prosperity, a God of he's a just God. He's a God that has a special people, and that special people is Israel, and he's basically gonna show favor in the end to this nation. You know what I mean? And then everything is gonna fall in its correct order. The entire earth is gonna be at peace and rest after 1,000 years of slavery, and you know the world getting jacked up for what they did to the special people of God. Alright? It says, all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion and the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob, which Jacob is who? Israel, Yahshua Allah. He is the Prince of God. You know what I mean? So there's gonna be an elect among that nation to judge and order everything in its proper order, and to rule the earth and planets. But all Israel is gonna taste that glory. All Israel will be saved. All Israelites will be in that favorable side to the Most High. So it's not meaningless or a waste of time to be here. It's just for you to find the purpose, which is the purpose to what? Serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and know that look, your spirit is more important than the flesh, because you cannot serve the flesh and serve the Heavenly Father. Right? The Bible tells you that. Now I don't want to, make it any longer than what it is already. It's 27 minutes, so that I'm gonna wrap it up and hope that someone was edified about this. Did we speak to the elect of Israel to wake the elect up? Because once the elect is up and awake, then it's deliverance time for the Israelites, for us. You know what I mean? So that I want to say, Kalalal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of James Stone. To you all came out there, Shalom.